Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to the Adventure Incorporated podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Anthony Reed. This is episode 143 and the 6th episode of the Homecoming story arc. This episode is brought to you by Nick and patrons like them. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc and become a patron today. Lots of cool stuff going on over there. And really, they help support the show. They help make it bigger and better, including a special announcement coming next week. Make sure you pay attention to this opening next Monday so I can make a special announcement of something new that we've been working on and I'm very excited about. Also, make sure you're following us on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you are dropping us that 5-star review on iTunes or whatever you use if you haven't already. That's super helpful for us. It helps grow the show, and we love it. We love it. That's all I've got this week, so let's get started. Nobles and farmers, knights and wenches, gather round to hear a tale of excitement and mystery. Brave adventurers facing grave dangers. Keth, the fighter monk.
Guys, there's a lot of puppy in this cloak. I needed to say that.
What?
Genevera, the sorcerer.
Genevera, you're sitting there next to Clyde, who just goes, "What the fuck?"
I hold up my hand for a high five.
Jebeddo, the rogue.
As soon as they see the five of you, their expression hardens.
Well, we'll see you later. And Jebeddo just turns.
Gillick, the paladin warlock.
But you're dying again, right? Like, you die, then you get a spirit.
And you're nothing.
And then
you become nothing.
And then you're nothing. That sounds like bullshit. Let's go kill the Death Lord.
And Asher, the druid barbarian.
Yeah, but I'm asking specifically why Jeff is important to Asher.
He's just the first name. You know what? I don't have to justify this.
Let us recall what happened when we last left our heroes.
I am loath to mention this. If you knew a powerful necromancer, it is possible that they could take the spirit that is still within this crystal in some capacity and transfer it to a new form. We're sending runners to this farm, but we should discuss what comes next for you three. I don't want to be the reason that you struggle. I don't want you to have to fight to fix something when there are other fights that need to be fought. But I don't want to stop fighting either. Prepare yourselves, for this is the tale of Adventure Incorporated. You guys awake the next day, physically, with physically well rested, compared to your previous 2 weeks of travel.
Did
emotionally, maybe not, but
did Jebeddo have any
yes.
crazy dreams?
Yeah, no.
I don't think anybody did too much dreaming during this time period. I think it was probably a lot of just like stress dreams. Maybe, yeah. What's a Jebeddo stress dream look like?
Jeez. He probably has to. God, sorry, Asher. He has to choose between one of his parents.
I'm not there.
Living and dying in his stress dreams.
But he's in his underwear and his teeth are falling out.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
And Aiden and Penny are standing behind him, and they're like, choose already. Just do it.
Are we all going to describe our stress dreams?
Yeah, what's Asher's stress dream? It's just a regular day.
Right, yeah. People are asking him about his feelings.
Asher's stress dreams is that he's on the platform where the Death Lord is, and his friends are walking away, and like in that permanent, like, you know, that like dream walking away where it's just like they always seem like they're going further away, but they don't move either. And I'm trying to like get to them and can't, but am going closer and closer to the Death Lord. despite trying to walk away from him.
And Keth sleeps soundly. No.
That's fair. He's like,
Kevin's like, I am pooped.
he's real
day.
upset right before he goes to sleep. But then he sleeps, and it's just out, lights out.
Yeah, some chamomile just puts you in
Yeah.
the right kind of mindset.
You guys wake the next day, feeling, like I said, physically refreshed.
Emotionally tired.
Probably. And you guys meet back up before heading in to meet with Redbridge, as you're supposed to do, sort of late this morning. So.
Guys, I
you
had
guys get
crazy dreams last night.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. What did you dream?
It was just crazy. But tell me about yours.
Well, I can't remember it now.
Oh, well, that's me neither.
It's a good bit, Mikey.
It was a tough night for everybody. About. Hey.
Yeah.
So. What did he say?
Ah! Sorry, Asher bursts out before you can say anything.
Yeah.
He's like, I should have said that you guys say hello. God damn it. Sorry. Go. What did he say?
What? I think he knew you guys say hi. Anyway, so he doesn't want to die. I told him Adnan, like, probably can't fix him. Maybe necromancy. Like, he just doesn't want to let go. But understands if we have to let him go. So I took that as we should look for another means to try and restore him and try and reboot him as many times as it takes to get him back to normal, if it's possible. And if it's not, then he forgives us. So I told Adnan that, just like, keep looking, keep trying. So that's, I think, where we are. We just have to wait and hope.
Jesus. Well. Yeah, I mean, God, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of counting on the soul stone thing to be a forever sort of plan.
Yeah.
Hey, before we meet up with Redbridge, is there anything that we have to do? Like, that we want to do?
Oh, so we're all on the same page?
Right.
Yeah, Genevera, what? Oh.
Right?
Yeah, she usually keeps track of all of the stuff we gotta do.
Like lists and stuff, yeah.
So many lists.
It's hard.
There's just, like, she writes, like, those things on paper, and, like, she looks at them, and she just knows stuff.
Notes, yeah. She keeps notes. Right.
Yeah, she's a genius.
Guys, writing down what happens to you doesn't make you a genius. Like, I agree, she's very smart, but notes are not why she's smart.
I'm just impressed with her knowledge.
Yeah, me too.
I wish she was here.
Same. She could tell us what to do at least.
Yeah.
And then we'd know.
What are some things that we can cross off our list that don't require the full party, a.k.a. the ley lines? Genevera? Oh.
The essence of Iora? Did the anybody report that they found it anywhere?
All the stuff that we have to do feels so hard without everybody. I mean, in general, also very difficult, but especially with just 3 of us. God.
I mean, I know what the closest thing we can do that we haven't even thought of in a while is. Like, geographically closest. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if that's true. But the forest that shut itself, remember that? 2 years ago, I guess?
Yeah.
We could go back there.
I don't want to fight without all of us.
I know!
Yeah, I especially don't want to fight, like, religious stuff
Things
without Gillick.
Gillick, yeah. Well, it's
Um,
foresty stuff, so, I mean,
Yeah.
whatever. That's,
Yeah, but they were all the gods of the pantheon.
Oh, that's true. Whatever.
You're good at forest too, Asher.
No, I'm good at desert, but it's fine.
Let's see what Redbridge has for us. Maybe she'll have all the answers for us. And
Yeah.
we won't have to think, and we'll just be able to go do something.
That would be great.
That sounds about right for this show, right?
Right.
Let's do a hook. Give us a hook, baby.
Okay, so you guys go and find Redbridge. She has taken up her old office in the Masters area, in sort of that left quadrant of the compound.
So who did she displace?
Me.
Yeah, she didn't care.
I go back to
think-
my office and I'm like,
Yeah, basically you go to Asher's office, which is she's picking shit up, moving stuff around.
Right.
She's like, "Who left all these dirty rags around?" It's Asher's
my
wardrobe.
laundry.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to wear those later.
She says, good, many pennies, you're here. Come, have a seat."
I walk in and sit down.
I will say that the Harper boy did a fine job running this place, but he was not exactly efficient. There's a lot of backlog that needs to be addressed.
Oh, we're
Well-
glad you're back.
Yeah, because he's now a king. Or whatever.
He did a fair job keeping this place running and made a lot of money for it. I will give him that, but he curried us some political favor too, which we in no small doubt owe to him, but especially with Elatrix no longer on the throne. But damn if he's not going to cause us problems on the throne as well. There's already rumblings about his method of ascension to the throne causing political issues.
Yeah, that makes sense. I figure it's probably troublesome when you write the laws and then enforce them.
Yeah.
Yes. It would have certainly been a much bigger deal if the kingdoms hadn't all collapsed just before that, but it's not helpful.
Well, what can we do to help? I know there's only 3 of us. So our most powerful magic user and our creepiest guy aren't with us.
Well, as far as I can tell, there are a few options that sort of raise to the level of the 3 of you, and I can give them to you and let you decide.
Yes, please.
Is one of them a
Rikus?
fancy party?
Ficus.
Not currently.
He appears.
She's like, no, I've soundproofed this room. I don't want him showing up. It's awkward.
I should have done that. He's so nice, but gosh. Such too
Rikus-
go-getter.
Rikus has come to me with a plan of sorts. He believes that there are a few key targets of the liches that need to be taken down in order to strike a blow to the lich's power. We have some teams that we've been trying to gather to send on these things, but we could send the 3 of you to try and take out one of these champions of the lich. That is a thing, if you felt so inclined, you could do. Another thing is that we could, in light of what we know now, try and locate Viltroth. hunt him down and see if he can do what we need him to do for Klug. I leave that decision completely up to you. I don't know where you've fallen on that. There is a third option, but based off some of the things I've been able to gather, it may or may not be a good one.
Oh boy.
That's probably what we'll do.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
The other two seem not great.
I'm already in for it. Let's just do it.
Let's go
Well,
get ready,
maybe
guys.
I should tell you what it is first.
Nope. We're going.
Well, what is
Okay.
it?
I can just let you go, and you can find out, or I can tell you. It's
Hey.
up to you.
Genevera ain't here. We don't have to vote on it. We can just go.
This is the first time I've seen you smile in a very long time, Constance.
It makes me nervous. I received a letter from Elatrix. The letter was vague, but it says that he needs my help. Obviously, I'm busy. I'm tied up here, and I could send the three of you.
Two. The two of us. Two of them.
I've known Elatrix a long time. I understand that things the last time you spoke with him may have gotten a little heated, and some things that even I did not know about him came to light.
Yup.
As we discussed on the road, some very major things. But I believe Elatrix is still Elatrix. I believe that everything I know about the man is still true. If that is the case, there are bigger issues going on here. That maybe someone needs to be the bigger person here. Now, I'm not saying this has to happen. I'm not even saying it's a good idea. It's probably a very bad idea. And we're probably much better off if we wait at least until all five of you are here, and then can cover for me, and I can go and speak with him and see what he needs. But it is an option. He gave me a stone. I could give it to you, and you could travel to where he is.
I kind of like that one.
Jebeddo is shaking his head so hard no.
It seems like the most important of the things.
Guys, we're gonna need Elatrix.
Yeah,
There's-
I know. No, I don't want to do it. I don't want this one. I think we need to get Elatrix back in the fold gently and with the level of diplomacy and trust that he has with you, Redbridge, that he does not have with us currently.
I've never really been known for my diplomacy, but I'll do what I can.
I mean, you worked with him forever. Did she know that he was Marifa?
She knew. She knew after the fact. She did not know during the fact. But I think after the fact, she was like, "Okay, makes sense."
Okay.
Like she pieced it together. She did not know while it was happening. No.
Okay. I mean, there's got to be a reason that he reached out to you specifically and not us, the Many Pennies. I don't know. Maybe it's something, that happens when you've had this sort of experience for the past forever with someone,
Perhaps all I can tell you is that the letter is very vague. All it says is that he believes that perhaps it is in fact time for him to do what he is meant to do, and that he needs my help to do it.
And it's specifically your help?
It's hard to say.
Well, what's the letter say? Does it say Dear
It says,
Constance?
"I need help
or does
to
it
do
say
it."
Dear Adventure Incorporated? Or does it say Dear anyone but the Many Pennies?
It says, "Dear Constance, but it says I need help to do it. It's up to you guys. If you have your other options that would be good for you to pursue, finding Viltroth. Finding Viltroth is important too, especially if that's the avenue we want to go with Klug. And this lich problem is a big problem for Carapath. It's one that's prevented us from being able to support other kingdoms like Pereneth the way that we've wanted to.
All of this seems real time sensitive. But just knowing what I know about Klug, that's my vote. I want to find Viltroth. I want to find Elatrix, and I want to stop the Lich, but I'm going to go for Viltroth first.
I'll back that.
Sure.
I don't want us to lose Elatrix again. And if he's at the point where he's asking for our help,
I want someone to bring him in who he trusts.
right?
Implicitly. But
The other option, if you think you can handle it, is that I go now.
So you go to Elatrix, we go to Viltroth.
If I go to Elatrix, you need to stay here. Someone needs to run this place, and I appreciate that you were under strain, but there is no goddamn way that you can leave this place. With Iron Shaper and Adhanan, it is a disaster.
He made soup and 4 potions at the same time. He's really good at multitasking.
but not good at the right multitasking.
Yeah, her mouth just like draws into a thin line. Like
we can't stay here.
We will go find Viltroth, and you will stay and...
Yeah, and then maybe Viltroth can stay. Well,
I wouldn't count on that.
it's a maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we might accidentally, while looking for Viltroth, bump into one of these stupid champions anyways.
Yeah, depending on what he's been up to.
Yeah, it's related magic.
Let me see what I have here. And she sort of like pushes through some notes. She says, I got this recently back from the Manhunter, Jator.
Yay.
It's a scout report. He's still looking for him. I think I can give you a location as to where he is now in Verena.
How far away is Verena?
It'll be probably a week and a half to the northwest.
Okay, so then not a month. Right, gotcha. Cool. I'm into it.
I see you, Anthony.
Go fulfill some things. All right.
Then
Yeah.
I will prepare for you guys to head out within the hour. Prepare what you need. Head to find him, and hopefully he can do something about Klug. I recommend you take the stone with you.
What stone?
The crystal.
Oh, that Klug is in.
The soul stone, yes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Anything you guys want to do before you leave? What's your alchemy loadout?
It's going to be the same thing as last time. Spirit Charm, Luck Charm, Soul Stone, Sharpening Stone.
Okay. Anything else anyone wants to do before they head out?
Nope. Not really.
No.
Okay. Where it's sort of a shorter voyage than you guys usually go, they just sort of assign you some horses. carriage.
Okay, so we run them ragged and get several along the way.
That's right.
Just leave a trail of thirsty horses.
No, the thirsty horses left.
Oh, no!
Yesterday, they went east
Don't
to
forget that
Bradmont.
They've got a different thing going on.
Yeah, they're gonna go relieve Genevera and Gillick.
Perfect.
The two-man team, the thirsty horses.
Yeah.
They're canon now. I
They're
don't know
great.
what they are, but they're canon.
They're a solid duo.
I want that. I can't wait for that Patreon episode.
No, I'm just gonna have to make them up on the other end of this when they show up in fucking Bradmont.
One is definitely
Nope.
cleric.
We're gonna wait.
fucking.
We're gonna wait.
I'm whatever.
We're gonna wait. I don't wanna spoil it too early. Okay. So you guys head northwest toward Verena. The forest that sort of you run along the outside edge of on the north end of Carapath is the same forest that has sort of the orcish activity, but it's not heading west too badly. In fact, Verena right now is sort of the one kingdom that isn't really being harried too badly. Amberfall's not really getting much either, but but there's definitely a lot of political motion in Emberfall with the dissolution of the kingdoms. Verena, and certainly as you guys begin to move into the city proper, Verena is very, very consistent. If you were from Verena and did not have knowledge of the other kingdoms, you might not even realize anything had changed here.
It's that goddamn West Coast bias.
There is a consistency here, a regularity
Sticky
that
consistency.
yeah. But as you travel further and further in, you realize that this consistency, while it may be what the Verena that you're used to, there is something to it that is an underlying dread. And it may be that this dread is part of that consistency, but there is definitely a current of fear that you just sort of sense from the people around you as you travel deeper into Verena. Traveling through Verena is different than when you're traveling, say, like through Bradmont, with its large stretches of open fields and smattering of small villages and hamlets. Verena is one giant city from pretty much the farthest outskirts to the center of the heart of the city, near the ports.
New York.
And in a lot of ways, it makes traveling through this area very different and difficult than sort of those open terrains you might be used to.
Ugh, traffic.
While on one hand, there are shops and stalls and taverns and inns everywhere, as far as, like, you know, anytime you turn a corner there's another one. It also means that there are people everywhere all the time, and it's hard to discern sort of when you're safe and when you're not.
Sounds like New York.
Yeah,
It's like,
okay.
There's a bar every couple of blocks and it's the same bar.
So as you guys travel through here, is there anything that you're looking for, anything you want to be aware of, anything you want to try to find?
What's like the hippest borough? What's the Brooklyn
uh,
equivalent? All right, I'm just kidding. This bit's not that good. Let's move on.
I was trying.
I'm telling myself this, not you. This is for me.
What are there any more specifics as to the location of Viltroth?
I was going to say, what is the information that we got about Viltroth's location?
So from Jator, you guys found that Viltroth has been sort of moving through the city, staying in the rattiest of inns and maybe the borderline nicest of hostels. to try and find. Basically, he's moving about through the city, but there's something here he's staying focused on.
Remind me, when we were looking for the Shie tome, was that in Verena or was that in?
That was in Emberfall.
Okay, thank you.
So this is when you came across Viltroth and Elatrix. That was on the very outskirts of Verena,
Right.
But he has moved his way in, and it seems he's almost like methodically searching the city.
Okay. As soon as we get into town, Jebeddo is going to I should have packed something for this. I should have packed a disguise kit or something, but did not.
Yeah, Keth too.
Are you also wanted in Verena?
Yeah.
You're wanted in Bradmont for murder. What are you wanted for in Verena?
So he was hired by a duke here to help recover his daughter, and we weren't able to.
Oh yeah,
And yet he hasn't been back. He botched it, and like the body brawlers. He's also hiding from them. So Brawley's brawlers.
Brawler.
Yes, fair enough.
Great.
Asher's like, whatever. This is a city, I guess. This sucks.
Oh yeah, you've never been to a city before.
No,
Not one this big.
Not one this big. No. Where the fuck are the trees? Like, is it no
Oh,
space?
There's a park, kind of in the middle of the city a little bit more. But
What
I
is
don't-
park?
it's where the trees are in a city. Anyway, I've got. Last time this didn't work out so well, but I've got a couple of friendly contacts from my old guild days.
Oh, that's good.
If we lay low and can try and get in touch with them, maybe they might be able to direct us to someone who might know a little bit more about necromancy in town. Should we pull on those strings a little bit and see if we can get some info?
What other options do we have?
Yeah, your connection seemed friendlier than mine. So let's do your thing.
I mean, do you want me to talk to a bird? Like, what do you want me to do?
That
This is your term.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, there's all these weird flying rat-looking birds. I assume there's pigeons in Verena. I don't know if that's true.
There's gonna also be seagulls in Verena because it's a port city. And there are a bunch of there's a bunch of rivers that run through the middle of the city. So
that's way better.
And canals
Seagulls,
and whatnot.
yeah, Verena's kind of like Venice and New York smashed together.
Gotcha. So every statue just is just covered in bird shit.
Yeah.
But also has its dick showing because
Right.
it's like Venice.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, its dick is covered in bird shit. God, this is why we need Steph on the podcast.
Steph to focus.
I
us.
never would have said that if she were recording with us.
Because you literally would have had to make eye contact in order to. You wouldn't do it. You would just wouldn't.
Oh, I love how unimpressed with that jokey you were.
It was a doozy. A real an image picture.
All right. Sorry. World.
Okay, so what contact are you going to go talk to?
So back in the Alchemist Guild, Jebeddo had a couple of more straight-laced friends than Snake, who was kind of always a negative influence on him. And so he's going to try and find this halfling that he used to study with, Randall Bottleneck.
Okay.
Randall.
Yeah, so you sort of look around a little bit to try and find Randall. You go to like where he used to have his shop or whatever. What's there now is a different alchemist who you can tell just like from across the street is definitely Cardoza family.
Sure.
Alchemist.
He's got a big gold chain on, and he's got a Camaro parked out front.
Yeah, and his windbreaker is like bright red.
Yeah.
But you just like you see him, and just from like the items that they're selling, their prices, like what he's doing, you know that it's connected.
Sure.
So you sort of ask around a little bit discreetly, and you find out that Randall is now an apprentice to another alchemist in town, and you manage to get in touch with him. He like sort of meets you out behind the shop that he's currently apprenticing at. And so he sort of like comes out into the alleyway when you arrive, and he's like, "Jebeddo, what are you even doing here?"
Hey, Randall, listen, it's a crazy thing, right? Sometimes life kind of takes you into places that you literally never thought you would come back to for fear of dying.
He looks behind him. He says, "I know what you mean."
So, what happened to the shop, man?
I tried to stand against them as long as I could, Jebeddo, but
Told you it was a bad idea.
eventually they threatened me enough, and I had to move on. I wasn't going to join them, but I had to move on. But they've made it very clear that I'm not able to open my own shop in this town, in this city. So I work here instead.
Well,
Thought about going somewhere else, but I think they'd just follow me.
I mean, at least you're alive and still in town. That's great.
I can't believe I can't believe how many people didn't make it from the fire.
Right? Listen, we gotta. If this ever blows over and I can come back, we gotta have a drink. We gotta catch up. These are my friends. This is Asher and Keth.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
guys.
I'm Randall. It's nice to meet you.
Randall's an old alchemy friend. We studied in the guild together for a while. He's always been good-hearted. Listen, I've made a change. I'm not the same Jebeddo you used to know. I've made a life bettering decision, and now I'm trying to do some good in the world. As I say this, my next question might sound a little weird, but do you know have you heard of any comings and goings on a kind of more dark magic side of things in town lately? We're looking for a friend who's mixed up in some dark stuff. And then he describes Viltroth. Just real gothy, real kind of downery looking dude. The type of dude who like goes and scribbles stuff on a message, on the town bulletin board late at night. That kind of guy. He's in pretty deep with this necromancy stuff, and we're trying to pull him back.
I think your friend's in a lot of trouble.
Why?
You've seen him?
After the attempt on the king's life, there was a bit of a scramble around here. The Cardozans really tried to shore up their defenses, so to speak.
Oh man, my thing had a consequence. This is funny. Okay, keep going.
They managed to capture the assassin, and I'm sure it won't ever happen. I'm sure it was a failed attempt is a failed attempt. I don't think they have too much to worry about, but the Cardozans took it personally. They thought that because this was once a member of the Cardozans, that they will come after them. So they've been trying to accumulate power, more power than they already had, more direct power than political power. And one of those things is, if your description is accurate, they've brought in people with abilities they don't normally look for, like necromancy, and have been using them to try and build up their strength for if the government tries to root them out. I'm pretty sure your friend there is working for the Cardozas.
Well, when it rains, it pours, right, guys?
Jesus. Well, do you know who? Like, who in the family?
It's the ones that weren't really around when you were here, Jebeddo. When last time you were around, they were nobodies. They were nothings. I'm not even sure they're full. I mean, I know they're not full Cardozans. They're half-breeds. These two twins, but something's weird about them. They've gotten a lot of power very quickly. They've really climbed through the ranks. Now they're like, they're underbosses. They are almost right next to the heads of the family.
I feel like the next words that are going to come out of your mouth are names of people I know, and I'm not excited about it.
I don't really know them well enough to be able to tell you that. I know that they're fairly new around here and that they're twins, and they're half-elven.
All right.
And no.
Listen, Randy, thank you so much, man. We'll keep hunting. God. Keep your head up, all right? Depending on how this goes, there might be a chance for you to open a shop again sooner rather than later.
I mean, I doubt it, but I'll keep my head up. Who knows? Maybe the King of Arena will finally boot those Cardozans like she should have done a long time ago. You know, suddenly when they're making attempts on her life instead of just piles of gold for her, maybe her tune will change.
Yeah. Thanks, pal. As we get a little away from Randy, I'm going to look at Keth and Asher and be like, so Viltroth has to be playing both sides, right? Like, there's no way he's just joined with the Cardozas. There's got to be a reason.
Oh, totally. He's got to be here for a specific reason.
Right, like he's got to be using them to get to something else, right?
That sounds like a thing he would do. And he'd be like all spooky and like, you're like, oh, is he a villain? But he's like, no, he's just opportunistic.
And so the way I see it is we've got two options, right? One is we find more out about these twins and try and stop them.
Or
we go talk to the king and try and get her to stop him.
I feel like you're missing a third option.
Oh?
We talk to Viltroth, which is going to be hard, and we help him find what he's looking for. So then he leaves.
I kind I kind of dismissed that one, just knowing the Cardozas.
You would know them better than I, so.
But I mean, I think it's worth a shot. I just know in the past when they find something shiny they like, they really hold on to it. Let's see. I'd love to talk to Viltroth. Let's see if we can find out more about the twins.
Yeah.
And figure out where he might be.
Yeah, maybe this will be easier than we think, and we can just talk to him, and maybe he'll just come with us.
Fingers crossed, pal.
They're I swear to God, if these are assassins and they're named like Cross and like Mikey, I'm gonna kill
No,
I was like,
trying.
I feel like we've killed them a lot.
I was like,
No,
They're dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
The drow,
Like the
the
other
drow are
twins.
dead. Yeah, these are new twins.
Okay.
These are they're not super new. I'm trying to remember when we talked about them, Mike.
Yeah, it was forever ago.
And I don't know if I gave them names.
Guess we'll
This is why I
find
need a
out this episode.
This is why I need a wiki. Feel bad. I have no idea when we mentioned it last.
Me neither.
Was it when you abjurated to Verena last? Because that was the last time you were in Verena.
No, it was after that. It was a conversation he had with Adnan, who was requesting he go and find one of the Manuel de Alchem that's still out in the world.
That was
yeah.
weird time ago.
And the problem is it could be like any of the in-between times.
Right.
And it's like a 10-minute conversation out of an hour-long episode somewhere in there. So what we'll do is we'll just keep sort of approaching it in vagaries, and maybe by next time I'll have figured it out. And
Yeah.
and
Great.
that's fine.
Perfect.
That'll work.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
So, I would like for us to go to one of the traditional anti-Cardozan bars in the market area. Kind of one of those bars where like everybody just kind of shows up and bitches about the same stuff every day for eternity, to try and gather more information on the twins.
Okay. So what you find is that it actually takes you a couple of attempts, because a lot of the bars that used to be anti-Cardoza bars don't exist anymore.
Great.
It used to be that the Cardozas were one family vying for control in Verena against a bunch of other people who didn't quite have the same level of power, but in conglomerate would have put them in check.
Sure.
That no longer appears to be the case. Verena has, over the years, slipped further and further into Cardoza control. And now it seems like there are very few places left that aren't directly controlled by the Cardozas. You do find one bar that you are familiar with, the Screeching Hen, that is a place that in the past has been friendly to those who are not so friendly with the Cardozas.
Sure.
And when you go in, the sort of bulky, balding human, he's got like sort of the hair around in a ring around his head going on.
Mm-hmm.
He's an older gentleman with a big bushy beard, and you know that you recognize him immediately. He's been the bartender and owner here for a long time. His name is Blix. That's at least that's what people call him, Blix.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jebeddo's going to motion to Asher and Keth and be like, guys, come on, up to the bar.
I'm cool.
Keth grabs a stool orders a beer.
He just holds it there in the air.
One beer for you. What can I get for you, lads?
Beer, please.
I'll have a white American.
Ugh.
And he winks at Blix.
He says, I've told you about these things. You're going to drink it, right?
Yeah.
Is that a bluff?
He sort of like narrows his eyes at you, and he turns around and he starts pouring some drinks.
Blix,
And
how you been,
here's-
my man?
Well, you know, doing my best. This place is falling apart around us, though. It's fucking dog shit.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I mean, nothing's changed in the past 30 years, so,
That's the problem, though. It has changed. It's gotten much worse.
I mean, you said it, pal. Actually, as Blix, like, is grabbing the milk, Jebeddo's gonna eye it and be like, actually, that's a little chunkier than I like it. We'll hold off on that. Just the beer tonight.
That's a good call, I think.
He finishes pulling the beers for you guys. He turns around and slides them to you, and he's like,
I'm surprised to see you here, honestly. I never expected I'd have to see your ugly face again.
Hey, man. I'm like a disease. You think you gotten rid of me, and then there I am again. Listen.
Hey, wait, hold on. Is that how diseases work?
Mate, please tell me you've been washing your hands after you use the bathroom.
Asher leans over to Keth and is like, city people are strange.
Jebeddo slides his beer back.
Right.
I'm
Keth
all set
does as
tonight.
well.
Asher unfazed.
Passes Keth's beer to Asher, actually.
What's the occasion? What's the matter?
I'm not thirsty tonight.
So,
He says, what brings you here, then?
same old shit, man. Just trying to overthrow established power structures, you know? Hey, I'm not gonna do anything crazy, but I do need to know where the twins are hanging out.
Hey, keep it down. All right? I'm on board with you, as I've always been. But it ain't safe for shit like this anymore. Used to be you could come in here and gripe about stuff like this, but it's not like that anymore.
Fuck. Jebeddo's gonna do a perception check around the room to see, like, if it, if he's getting side-eyed or whatever. 20?
Yeah, you notice a few people are having conversations at tables that they are definitely like, their whole purpose is to be there to eavesdrop
Sure.
and try and gather information.
Great. Cool.
Ketha engages Asher in kind of a nonsense, like just kind of louder conversation, and lets Jebeddo talk with the bartender.
Okay.
So I'm trying to cover for them.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about like mushrooms is that like you know the
Asher doesn't even realize what your plan is. You've
Yeah.
just like sparked him on something.
Gosh, I can
It's
talk
like,
about
tell me that mushroom story again.
Oh my god! Yeah, which one? And what kind of mushrooms are you talking about?
I know, right? Okay. Sorry.
Asher is
So-
having a ball.
Great
Asher's
night
Just the
out.
boys, just hanging
Asher's
out.
killing the friend game the past couple of sessions. Just really fucking slaying it.
He leans in close. He says, the twins aren't your concern, mate. It's the brother, Talvis Cardoza. He's moved from underboss to one of the family heads, but I think he's making a play for something even bigger.
Well,
And so I woke up and I was just like in a field, and I was like, "This isn't that weird."
In a
But-
field?
Yeah, but like you should have seen who was next to me. Ready? Like, hear this. It was a third dead goat. I don't know how it got there. I don't know how it got there.
So what I'm trying to figure out, like, I'm not trying to take them all down right away. I'm not even trying to take them down right now. I need specifically to know where the twins are hanging out because they've got a friend of mine.
The twins work for Talvis. Whatever he's planning, they're a part of it. That's part of why they've risen to power so quickly, I think. That and that damn book of theirs.
What do you mean?
They've had access to some magic that they shouldn't. They do things with alchemy I ain't never seen anyone do.
Great. Yep. Stuff like calling ghosts and making bombs and turning dead people into walking thugs for them.
The rumors are getting out, are they?
Yeah, something like that, pal.
And yeah, so we had a coliseum of sorts, like, in the tribe. Like, we would all just gather around and, like, give two people, like, huge bones, and they would just, like, beat the shit out of each other. Like, that's what we did for entertainment. It was great.
But
I missed that.
But how many goats were there?
Well, that's what brings me back to my original thing, because that's where the lions come in, okay? Like, this is where it gets
Talvis.
good.
Talvis is the key here. I think he's trying to play for the throne.
Well, I mean, we always joked that the throne didn't matter. What's changed?
I think the throne didn't matter when the kingdoms were connected. There's a lot more power in a kingdom now, separate.
Sure. Fuck, man. God. All right. So is Talvis still over on the west side?
He is the west side now.
Is he? I can't imagine he's changed too much, right? That, like, he was always bragging about his power and his wealth. Like, is he still buying up all the biggest houses and doing the most still? Like, what?
Yeah, but there's a hardness to him now. Something.
And so I said 7, and he punched me in the face, and I was like, "But that was the answer."
Yeah, I mean, that's always been the answer. That's what you said the last time.
I know that's what he told me.
But where did they go back in the kitchen, or was it just
Look, mate.
back to the living room for them?
Look, mate. There's only going to be so much that you can do. You're just 3 people.
Hey, man.
You're probably better off just running.
Jebeddo flexes his tiny little arm. A couple more of these, and I think I'll be ready to take them on tonight. And he, like, slams his beer down, and he puts it back down on the table, and he's like, listen, I assume throughout the actual conversation that we've gotten a bunch of detail about where they're hanging around and where we can go and find them.
Yeah. He says, I got one more thing for you. There's a specific person that I think the Cardozans have kind of double-crossed a little bit, that you might be able to get some help from.
Sure.
But it's not going to be easy. She's in the dungeon for trying to kill the king.
Who tried to kill the king?
An assassin they say used to be Cardozan. She worked for the Bisus.
What's her name?
She's one of those horned ones. I think she goes by Shadow.
Sure. Great. Can't wait to try to win her over. She fucking hates me.
She loves us. Like, Keth just, like, butts in. And, like, oh, that's great news.
Jebeddo, mate, I'm not sure I've met someone who doesn't fucking hate you.
Well, don't
Yeah.
you want to find out what
That was
happened
pretty good,
to like
but-
the goats? I never got to the end of the story.
Hey adventurers, DM Anthony here again. I just want to remind you that there are lots of ways to support the show. Head on over to patreon.com/adventureinc. Tell your friends about the show. Rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Links and more can be found at adventureinc.podbean.com. Thanks everyone, we'll see you next week.
So, when you asked me to connect with Callisto,
Yeah.
I drew 3 cards from my Oracle deck that I did the readings for.
Cool.
Yeah, baby.
I drew Observe in Silence, which I took to mean let him fade away.
Yep.
Trust in Magic, which I took to be the Necromancy one.
Mm-hmm.
It helps that it has these 2 ravens on it.
Sure.
And then I drew Share Your Thoughts, which is what the community one I went with.
Great.
That's great.
This fucking Oracle deck's the best.
Yeah.
I want
Incredible.
It. I want one, like, so bad. Like, do a reading on me right now, dude. Pull a card. Tell me what the fucking next thing to do is in
God.
my life.
It's only for in-game use, man. If I
Fuck
I
you.
use up the magic out of game, it won't be there in-game.